Hi, I'm Farmer Samson of Wally, and I want to discuss something that I would say I learned on my own practically from being in primary production over time. Because right now I know that we are getting to that era where a lot of people will start saying, "Hey, come and invest in primary production, and I will give you XYZ returns and all of that." And many a time these things end in premium tiers, and this is the reason you see primary production, from my experience, has high risk and low scalability factor. Now, I know a lot of us are used to the whole, oh, high risk, high risk, high risk. But what I realized is the level of risk is always proportional to the scalability factor. Now, what do I mean when I say low scalability factor? If I run probably, if you look at a company like, let's say, Uber or Airbnb and all of that, if Airbnb says, oh, we want to go into Ogun State, or we want to go to Ekiti State, one other state where they've not been before, you realize that Airbnb does not need to go into that state and start buying houses. No. All they just need to do is, okay, all I assume they need to do is create their awareness, tell people to probably bring in their buildings and all of that, and maybe worst case scenario, do a promo code and say, okay, the first 1,000 people to put their building for Airbnb, even if nobody rents it, you are going to get XY guaranteed return every week. And what happens? They start getting houses, but you realize that what they had to spend to do that was not so much, right? But if you are in primary production, whether farming or animal, and you say, I want to go from 10 acres to 100 acres, it's not as simple as just buying the seed. You need to acquire more land or expand your existing land. You need to clear the land. Assuming you are not doing greenhouses, you need to think of what a source of water, you need to think of irrigation, you need to think of manpower. So you realize that in scalability in primary production, there are lots of moving parts, right? There are lots of things you need to do for you to say you are scaling. And because there are too many moving parts, what that simply means is, for everything you need to expand, for everybody you need to hire, for every new thing you need to do, that in itself is a risk. That in itself is a risk, which is why I personally say, before you start thinking of expanding, it is beyond your expertise as the owner of the farm. There are too many moving parts that your expertise alone is not enough. You will probably need to have better, what's the word? Um, Human relationship, how to manage people, and all of that. You need to know how to create systems so that it's the system that is multiplying rather than you just expanding. Hope I made some sense. All the best as you enter the new season for those who are in seasonal based farming. Have a great week.